Hello students. In this video we are going to discuss about a topic long-Muir adsorption isotherm. Students, first we'll discuss about the drawbacks of Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Though Freundlich adsorption isotherm gave satisfactory result, it was associated with the following limitations also. The first limitation is it was an empirical relation that there was no theoretical foundation. It could explain type 1 adsorption isotherm only. It failed at high pressures as the experimental isotherm approached saturation at high pressures, which Freundlich adsorption isotherm could not explain. The last limitation is K and N are not true constants for a particular adsorbent system. They show temperature dependence. The next one is our main concept, long-Muir adsorption isotherm. In 1916, Irving Langmuir published a new model isotherm for gases adsorbed to solids, which retained his name. It is an empirical, semi-empirical isotherm derived from the proposed kinetic mechanism. This isotherm was based on different assumptions, one of which is that dynamic equilibrium exists between adsorbed gaseous molecules and the free gaseous molecules. So, this long-Muir adsorption isotherm is based upon the following assumption. First assumption is adsorption of adsorbate molecules takes place only on fixed number of adsorption sites that are available on the surface of the solid adsorbent. Second one is adsorption is a process of sticky collision. This means when a gas molecule hits a vacant site on the adsorbent surface, it will get adsorbed. However, if it hits an occupied site, there occurs an elastic collision and the gas molecule gets rebound. This implies that adsorption takes place only on vacant site, where each such site can hold only one gas molecule. All active sites on the adsorbent molecule or adsorbent surface are energetically equivalent. They involve constant heat of adsorption. The fourth assumption is the surface of solid adsorbent is assumed to be completely flat and uniform on microscopic dimensions. The fifth assumption is under conditions of low pressure and moderately high temperature, a monomolecular layer of adsorbate molecule is formed on the adsorbent surface. This is particularly true as the influence of active site on the adsorbent surface usually extends up to 1.5 to 2 angstrom unit. The sixth one is there are no interactions between the gas molecules that are getting adsorbed on the adsorbent surface. Adsorption of gas molecules takes place independent of the occupation of the neighboring sites. These gaseous molecules are thus assumed to behave ideally. The seventh one is a state of dynamic equilibrium exists as follows, that is M plus S giving MS, where M is the free gaseous molecule, S is the active site on solid adsorbent, where MS the product is said to be adsorbed gas molecule on the solid surface. This means that the absorption takes place on vacant sites and desorption takes place from the occupied sites till a state of equilibrium is attained. As per the law of mass action, rate of forward reaction, that is your adsorption, equal to Kf concentration of M into concentration of S. The rate of backward reaction, that is desorption process, equal to Kb concentration of Ms. At equilibrium, rate of adsorption equal to rate of desorption. Hence, both the equations are equated. We get K1 equal to Kf by Kb, which is equal to concentration of Ms divided by concentration of Ms into concentration of S, where K1 equal to equilibrium constant for each distribution of adsorbate molecules between adsorbent surface and gas phase. Coming to the mechanism of long-Muir adsorption isotherm, We can take this equation, that is A plus B equal to AB, where A is the unadsorbed gaseous molecule, B is the unoccupied metal surface, that is your solid surface, AB is the adsorbed gaseous molecule. The direct and inverse rate laws are K and K minus 1. Based on his theory, Longmuir derived an equation which explained the relationship between the number of active sites of the surface undergoing adsorption and pressure. This equation is called Longmuir equation, where theta equal to Kp. In the denominator we have 1 plus Kp. Theta is the number of sides of the surface which are covered with gaseous molecule. P is the pressure. K is the equilibrium constant for distribution of adsorbate between the surface and gaseous molecule. The basic limitation of Longmuir adsorption equation is that it is valid at low pressure only. At lower pressure, Kp is so small that the factor which is given in the denominator 1 plus Kp can almost be ignored. So Longmuir equation reduces to denominator which is nearly equal to Kp. So Longmuir equation can be written as theta equal to Kp. Let us now move to the derivation part. Let us consider the number of adsorbate molecules hitting unit area of adsorbent in unit time T equal to capital N, and the fraction of surface area of adsorbent that is covered equal to theta. The uncovered surface area of the adsorbent is given by 1 minus theta. So rate of desorption is directly related to theta, and the rate of desorption can be written as k d theta, where k d is the constant for desorption. The rate of adsorption will be proportional to uncovered surface area of the adsorbent and the number of adsorbate molecules hitting unit area of the adsorbent in unit time. The latter in turn will be proportional to the gaseous pressure. Thus, we have the rate of adsorption proportional to P. Inside the bracket we have written 1 minus theta, or we can write like this, that is rate of adsorption equal to Ka into P 1 minus theta, where Ka is the constant for adsorption. So at equilibrium your rate of adsorption equal to rate of desorption. So Ka P into 1 minus theta equal to K d theta. Solving for theta we get Ka divided by, in the denominator we have Kd plus Kap and into P, or theta equal to Ka divided by Kd, and in the denominator we have 1 plus Ka by Kd into P and into P, or theta equal to K1 by P1 by K plus K1 into P, where K1 equal to Ka by Kd. This is said to be your Longmuir adsorption equation. In deriving this equation, we have assumed that only gas is chemisorbed of the adsorbate. If two gases A and B undergo non-dissociative mechanism on the same adsorbent surface, then the Longmuir assumptions give the following equation. So now we'll discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of your Longmuir derivation. Longmuir adsorption isotherm is associated with the following advantages. That is, it can explain type 1 adsorption isotherm clearly. Adsorption of gaseous molecules on solids can be explained over a wide range of pressure. Fractional coverage, that is surface area of the adsorbent that is covered, can also be evaluated using Longmuir adsorption isotherm. Despite of the above advantages, Longmuir adsorption isotherm has one major limitations of not being able to explain the type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5 adsorption isotherm. Okay students, that's all about the main points of our Longmuir adsorption isotherm. Thank you for watching.